All right, I just picked up some more parts. Got the right alternator, right post mount. Got a SI intake so it can actually fit the larger throttle body. I got a steering rack, which I'm gonna put in now because my end links or my inner tie rods were just junk, and this is brand new. Guy had it with a bunch of other parts. I picked up the intake from him. I also got this exiting clutch, basically new, pressure plate, and then here's my flywheel. I have to wait for the clutch bolts, the pressure plate bolts. I forgot to buy those, so I have to wait for them tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll get the transmission and everything together. So today is just more buttoning up. I'm going to put the post mount on, as well as the alternator. Then I'm gonna make these wiring connectors fit. Okay, I got the OBD1 injectors to work on the OBD0 harness. What you do is inside here, there is two little corners of plastic right there. You Dremel that away, and then the OBD0 connectors go right on. So that way I don't have to splice into my factory harness or run ugly pigtails or something. This all just works. Now all the connectors for the injectors are all on there. Nice and snug. So that's good. Now I'm gonna swap off the alternator for the USDM one. Alternator's all on there. I just have to tighten down this nut. Connector's plugged in, belt's on. Belt is not a 4 rib, it's only 3. So I might have to get a different one, I'm not sure. Okay, the correct post mount is on now. I just had to take the bottom half of the timing cover off. So I'm gonna put that back on now, put the belt back on the alternator. And then we should be good. Quick reminder to make sure you always have both transmission dowels. I just went to Honda to pick up one other one because this only had one in it, and the one that was in my engine was in the same spot, but it was all rusty, so I removed that one. New rack is installed. It was kind of a pain to get in, but it was worth it. I got it for $20, so that's a steal. Better, it'll be way better than this old rack with the worst. Yeah. This one's an SI rack also, so it should have a little bit better gearing, I think they do. Engine's off the stand. I got the cover over it so I don't mess up the valve cover. I'm gonna do the rear main seal now, and then I might bolt on the flywheel as well, or I might just save that for tomorrow. We'll see. New rear main seal's on. I'm gonna put the flywheel on now, and I'm gonna put a little Loctite on the flywheel bolts. Flywheel's all on. Pilot bearing, new OEM pilot bearings in the flywheel, and I didn't wipe it down yet. I'm gonna do that right before I install the clutch, so it still has its oils and stuff on it, so it should be good for the night. So that's where I'm stopping for tonight. Tomorrow, my pressure plate bolts should come in, and I'll be able to put the clutch and pressure plate on, and then bolt the transmission to the engine. The distributor adapter plugs came in. I just got the Amazon ones. I'll try them out. If they're junk, I'll return them and get some other ones. Got lug nuts, And I got the pressure plate bolts. I got ARPs. They're $20 on Amazon, so how could you not get them? OEM are like $7, $8 a bolt. So now I'm gonna put the clutch on and then put the transmission on. Clutch is completely installed. Always make sure that the tool still goes in and out easy. There should be no binding. I didn't use Loctite, I used the ARP, the torque lubricant stuff, because that's what it says to use with ARP lube. And then these were M8, so 25 foot-pounds. Real quick before I move the engine and put the transmission on, I'm doing the resistor box delete, which if you have one of these OBD1 plugs where it just plugs in, it basically ties all these wires together. So if you have one of these, you can just depin these, and this is already a pigtail. So depin these and then pin them to the 5 wires that go to the resistor box currently. You just put them in here, put the cap on, and then done. And it's an OEM fix. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Here's the resistor box delete installed. So now I'm ready to bring it over there, and I'll put the transmission on and get it under the car and hopefully get it in. Man, so the engine's in now. That's just the first step, but yeah, I'm very excited. It looks really good in there. Man, I did not think this day was gonna come. I didn't know when I was gonna ever swap it. Now I have it sitting in here. So now the grind really starts. Now I have to start buttoning everything up, see what fits, see what doesn't, figure things out, and just keep on chugging at it. So that's what I'm gonna do now, and I'm gonna give you little updates in between. All motor mounts are connected now. I got the rear T-bracket in. That one's annoying to do. I should have just had it on there, I think, when I put it up there, but it's in there now. I'm gonna go get some more bolts because I need 2 more bolts for the T-bracket. And then I'm gonna come back, put all the bolts in, and then put a jack under it, and then torque down all the motor mounts themselves. And then after that, I'm gonna start buttoning up everything else. All right, so I got the clutch cable hooked up, got the shifter linkages hooked up. Everything's bolted down as far as mounts. I'm about to put the exhaust manifold in, but before that I'm gonna add oil just to make sure that I have oil whenever I do go to start it. Alright, so the exhaust manifold's just sitting there. Need to get the studs and bolts and nuts. But this is where I'm stopping for today Everything else I really can't do. Still waiting on my axle seal, so I can't do any of the axles or anything like that. I'm just gonna wait, get the seals, put those in, fill the transmission, and then I can, once I get the exhaust on there, I can try to test start it. I still need to do some of the sensors, so the throw check engine light, but I mean, good enough to start it. So this is where I'm going to leave it for today. I'm going snowboarding tomorrow, and then I get back the next day, and hopefully the axle seals will be in the mail, and I'll be able to button everything else up. Shift linkage is all installed. I had to put a spacer right here because the linkages were rubbing right here. So I used an axle washer and it spaced it out. Back here was rubbing on this support bar thing for the bushing right here. So I had to chisel it down so it doesn't rub against there anymore. So now it shifts through all the gears pretty good. I gotta go to the store and get the inner axle seal because that one did not fit the axle and it would have leaked. So I'm gonna go get the proper one. All right, I got the correct axle seal now. This is the part number for a one that you're using a later year half shaft for. If your half shaft's from like a 90 to 93 Integra, then you're gonna need a different axle seal. These power wires, this one and the starter, they both came out of the battery terminal. I'm going to add a ring connector on it so it can just bolt down right there like that, and it'll be simple and easy. So now they're secure and they will work with my terminal. Yeah, now they'll work and it'll look better and they'll work better, most likely. So cool. I ordered a different traction bar because the other one was just junk. And this is Max Peating rods, but it's a whole lot better than the other one. So I got that all in. Everything fit up, everything worked. The other one didn't come with all the materials and stuff, and it's just stupid. But I took the exhaust manifold off because when my stud kit comes in, I can just put the studs in, and then I already have the nuts and then put it on. So that's really what I'm waiting for until I troubleshoot it a little bit more. I put the old map sensor, just plugged it in and ran it to right here. I might need to run it to this vacuum port, but that's just what I'm doing for troubleshooting. All right, let's see if it starts.